Voodoo is actually the weakest magic.
Alright, so we need to talk about this guy. This guy got a lot of views on this video talking trash about voodoo. It's like the worst magic. There's a lot of practitioners up in the comments that are upset. Let me tell y'all motherfuckers something. Don't be angry or upset or mad or offended about anything that somebody says on social media or the internet. Ever. I went and checked out this guy's page. This guy is not all there. He's not dealing with the full deck. He's a slavery denier. So nothing this person says matters at all. However, he does bring up some very interesting points to me, or things that I want to talk about. Why people get involved in voodoo is what I want to talk about. If you get involved with voodoo because you think it's going to make you powerful, or it's going to bring you money, or it's going to bring back a lover, or it's going to make you some big sorcerer, you're coming to the tradition for the wrong reason. Do people who practice voodoo practice magic? Yeah, ancestral magic. But voodoo is about service. I'm initiated in the 21 divisions and Haitian voodoo. And I want to tell you why I came to the practice. I came to the practice because my ancestors called me to this practice. When I started doing my ancestral journey and my ancestral veneration, ancestral repair, healing work, the first group of people I wanted to communicate with or contact were the Taínos, okay? The first Native Americans to be colonized in the New World. My grandfather on my mother's side, Afro-Indigenous, very indigenous. And when I started learning more about the Taínos, I realized that they didn't go extinct, and a lot of their practices made it into the diaspora. It's specifically in 21 divisions in the Dominican Republic, in Cuba, and in Puerto Rico, and also Palo Mayombe, and Sanse, and Espiritismo, Cruzado. So when I came to these practices, I went to a Haitian Mambo, Mambo Maud, who was very, very famous here in Boston. Got a reading from her and found out whether or not voodoo was a path for me in order to communicate with these ancestors. And in the voodoo traditions of the Caribbean, yes, there are Taíno spirits, and they're still worked with. And that is why I came to voodoo. Now, voodoo is a closed practice, but not by ethnicity or race, okay? It's closed by initiation. You get initiated into the practice, and that's what makes you a voodooism. However, just because someone gets initiated, it doesn't automatically give you the license to do whatever you want. There are some loa that if you're not Haitian, you absolutely should not approach. And it's the same thing with the indigenous spirits, the Taínos. If you don't have those ancestors in your spiritual court, or you don't have those ancestors by blood, by DNA, those are not necessarily spirits that you want to work with. So all of these traditions are not just a free-for-all. There are rules, and people don't understand there are rules to practice. Just like hoodoo. Just because you're a Black American doesn't automatically give you the right to practice that. That's an ancestral thing. Not everybody gets to practice everything. Not everybody gets to get initiated in everything. If you find yourself in the inside of the initiation room, there is a reason why you're supposed to be inside that initiation room. There is a spirit in your court that needs acknowledgement and wants you to get that initiation. These are mystery traditions. These spirits are the mysteries. And if you show up with the wrong intention, those mysteries, people aren't going to like this. If you show up with the wrong intention and you show up the wrong way, those spirits are not going to reveal their mysteries to you. They are not going to show up for you. Because even if you do get initiated in voodoo, that doesn't mean that you work with the entire pantheon of spirits that's in voodoo. You work with the ones that walk with you. And that's why you get a godparent. That's why you get a teacher. That's why you get initiated. And it's through initiation that it's revealed to you which one of these spirits walks with you that you need to service. So voodoo isn't magic, although it contains magic. Voodoo is a personal philosophy. It is a religion. It is an ancestral practice first. And there's magic that is practiced as part of that. So that's what people get wrong. And that's why people get try to get involved in this stuff and get really spiritually tangled and really messed up. Because they didn't understand from the very beginning what it was about. I am also not one of these practitioners that sits around and tries to determine, oh, that person's magic is better than that person's magic. That actually is, that's not true. That's not how magic works. Did you know that? Sitting around and debating whether or not Wicca or Haitian voodoo is stronger, or whether or not Catholic folk magic and Santa Muerte devotion is stronger than Ifa, those conversations don't matter, and I'm going to tell you why. It's the individual practitioner that holds the magic. The individual practitioner is the container, and it depends on the quality of the container. Depends on the quality of the individual. Depends on the capacity of the individual to wield that magic that makes somebody either powerful or not powerful when it comes to spell casting. And the spirits that walk with them in their court. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. There are practitioners walking around on this planet that are bulletproof. And it doesn't matter how hard you try to take them down, it's never going to happen if it's that person's destiny to walk that path. So let's talk about destiny for a second, because destiny is a very important part of African spirituality. A lot of people, when Trump got elected the first time and the second time, tried to curse him, tried to hex him, tried to do all kinds of stuff magically to this person. And all of that work failed. Why? Because when Donald Trump went before Oludumare and said he wanted to come from heaven to earth in order to be president of the United States, if that was approved in heaven before he came to planet Earth, there is nothing any one of you motherfuckers can do about that. Because as long as someone is walking in harmony and alignment with their destiny, there is nothing that can prevent that person from accomplishing their destiny. It's when a person strays off their path. It's when they become out of alignment with their destiny that they become more susceptible to problems in the spiritual world and more susceptible to contamination, okay, from other people. So let this be a lesson to everybody. Figure out what your destiny is. If you want to get involved in voodoo or any tradition, you need to find practitioners that practice this stuff. You need to get a reading from them. And if the person that you get a reading from feels weird or off, or something isn't feeling right, it means that you need to find somebody else. You have an internal moral compass, ethical compass that can guide you in the direction that you need to go. And you can also pray to God, your ancestors in the spirit world yourself, and get direction yourself. I'm going to say something else real quick and no one's going to like. There are some people that don't ever need an initiation to be the absolute best practitioner on the face of the planet, because it's something they were born with. It's something they came from heaven to earth with. Nobody can give them anything. No one can take anything away from them. This has been a public service announcement. Okay, bye.